What's good? It's Casper. Today's video, I'm talking about the movie Scary Movie. So the movie Scary Movie is a 2000 film. It's rated R and it's an hour 28 minutes. Directed by Keenen Ivory Wayans. Watching this movie, I honestly couldn't believe that a lot of these ideas and a lot of the goofs that they put in this movie was a passable one. Getting used to the movies that do spoofs and do basically their own comedy version of the other original type of scary movie. This movie was like a more natural, more of a good flow introduction on being introduced to the minds of this type of movie. The Wayans brothers are, for me, definitely deserve a lot of respect, especially being very creative, being themselves. Scary Movie 1, where I felt like a lot of the stuff, even as goofy as it is, very authentic. Movies that try to go with the direction of trying to do their own spoofs, here and there can put out some good quotable one-liners where you're like, oh, that was a funny line. I honestly like that. But in this movie, overall, there's a lot of more emphasis with these creators involved with this scary movie. The stuff in this scary movie is very, very shocking because it's way out of range, way out of nowhere, way out of pocket, and that's what makes the movie even more funnier. It gives that natural feel where it's like they're not really trying to do something funny. It just naturally go out there, do your thing, because you guys are already comedy, good at making dumb look good. Dumb moments in here that's just straight hilarious. The main idea of this movie is a lot of dumb high schoolers who are dealing with the killer, and the killer is Ghostface from the Scream movies. They're spoofing the Scream movies with a lot of the characteristics he does in that movie. We're seeing it in this Scary Movie. Good presentation, good storyline, good laugh, and I really like how the fact that every actor that they put in this movie all had a good participation feel, to the point where they didn't feel like they're just extra at all or didn't have that funny attributes. Other actors are funnier than another. Like, everyone actually held their own, and everyone actually had a good character that made this whole movie, as dumb as it is, funny. Storyline is just very hilarious how they copy a lot of the moments from the Scream movies. Very funny how the Wayans brothers, they're acting in their own movies. Marlon Wayans, he plays the character Shorty. What a time, to be honest. Like, I can only imagine him rewatching this and just being like, that's who I was during that time. The personality, the character from him is just super hilarious. He's very obnoxious, he's loud, and has that ghetto side of him that just makes everything pop out, stand out. They just make the funniest, craziest emotion into the funniest thing. So a lot of emotion from his character that he's just chilling, slow vibes chilling as well. The emotions of just literally just chilling at the crib and not showing much. But he's a goofy character too. And his brother is literally out of nowhere the complete opposite. Shawn Wayans, he plays the character Ray. His character is absolutely wild. His character is the type of character where while you're watching it, you're just like, bruh, that's insane. Like, guys, come on, you guys are coming up with this is crazy, but it fits perfectly. It's very out of nowhere. It's one of those things where it's like, don't let them guess your next move. He's the definition of that. He did it so funny, very pause moments, the absolute most pauses character in this movie, and he does a really good job. But with the Scary Movie vibe in general, all the characters have their own unique personalities, and the Wayans brothers did a phenomenal job as having standout characters. Whenever they had their screen time, it was just like, oh, what is about to happen right now? One of those moments where you're like, they're gonna do something. Let's see whoever's watching it with you, how they feel about it. It might be awkward, it might be funny. This movie, especially going into it, don't have people around you who are not open-minded. There's a lot of stuff here that is very touchy and sensitive to, you know, some viewers. I can see that. Bring people to watch this movie who are actually a good time. Don't bug, don't question things, just enjoy what they're watching and basically seeing the goofiness for what it is. Storyline in this movie is very funny. I do like the fact that we are following these high schoolers and seeing how dumb they are, literally living their lives. This movie is not serious. It's just perfect because it's authentic, it's real to the heart, especially with the creators, and they knew exactly what they're doing. They're putting a very comedy, goofy, scary movie out there for the people who understand that type of vibe. That's why this movie is perfect, because the ideas, the creation of this, 1 in a billion. Not many people can come up with ideas like this. Scary Movie 2 has one of the most funniest storylines, so I can't wait to get to that that movie and rewatch it and do a review on that, because that storyline for me is just top tier comedy. This one is top tier comedy as well, but the number two they elevated, and number two they put more thought and more ideas to it, and that's how you do it. The OGs came through and made a number two. Anna Faris plays the character Cindy, and she's a really good front character in sense of like a lot of this goof and spoof storyline is revolving around her, and I thought she did a good job playing that dumb white female, clueless, very annoying as well, and one of those females where like, dang, how is anyone dealing with her? She was a good character to have for that screen attraction. Acting was actually well done, and that's with a lot of these actors. Acting is so phenomenal on playing this dumbness. So shout out to the actors. It's not like cheesy acting, cheesy projection with their lines. Carmen Electra, she does a cameo in the beginning that just basically shows how dumb this movie is about to be. Lachlan Munro, who plays the character Greg, his character was just very loud, funny loud. So many moments in here where he was just like, come on, like that projection is very funny. It's one of those things where I could imagine myself being like miles away from the set and knowing that they're filming because of his projection with his lines. Just top tier comedy. Even if I heard that come on or that loud projection he does from far away, I'll be laughing because I know in person that looks hilarious. Good job on playing that character Greg. Shout out to the writing for all the characters, because the casting did a phenomenal job, and knowing that these characters can put out these lines and even being so animated as well. He was one of those characters that I was just like, bruh, he is absolutely wild. The fact that he was doing those things in this movie, I'm like, hey, shout out to these actors being straight up dedicated. And that's another attribute to this movie, that the dedication is absolutely real. Even characters in here that females might laugh at, and us, we laugh at literally all these moments in this movie because you can just see how goofy it is. All-time classic. The Wayans brothers came up with an idea that cannot be touched at all. There's been other people trying to make movies just like this, but you can see that warm heart feeling into making a creation, being original, is not there with those other people trying to mimic this. Such a good rewatch. I'm always laughing. It's literally a facepalm type of movie because how dumb the lines are, and the characters match that personality like crazy. A lot of the lines basically set up who the killer is in this movie. So that's something I caught. I don't know if other viewers caught that as well, but every time a character mentions like about a killer, the actual killer is actually right there. The soundtrack in this movie is great. All the moments in here, too many to count, on just classic moments. This movie right here, shout out to my brother putting me onto this movie. Sinatra Reviews was the one that put me onto this movie, and countless laughs every time we watch this movie. And even more funnier when you have good people around you watching this, because it just adds to the funniness. After my watching the movie Scary Movie out of 10, I'm gonna have to give this movie a 8 out of 10. So that's my movie review for the movie Scary Movie. Shout out to you guys for tuning into the video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, y'all.